pop a top again. I've just got time for one more round. Set 'em up, my friend.
But since 1866, we've made Jack Daniel's whiskey by the same old method here in the hills of Tennessee. After your first sip, you'll know why we always will. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the Country Music Time Machine. The bar is open. It is time for round 2 of some of the best drinking songs in country music history. After closing the bar on the last round, we got a bunch of requests for round 2 of favorite drinking songs. Some of those will be included in this episode. Before we get started, always a reminder, I love these country music drinking songs, not because it makes me want to drink. It's just great country music, especially historical country music. So I love them. But if you do have a drinking problem, remember, let's try to drink responsibly. Let's take care of each other. At the end of the video, you'll see a pop-up on the screen that will give you a chance to get some help if you need help or someone you love needs help. So pay attention to that at the end of this episode. But before I do get started, yes, the bottle was stuck to my pants, but it's time for some Coke with peanuts. Man, oh man. If y'all have never drank Coke with peanuts, you are missing out on a delicacy of your life. Okay, as I try to ingest these peanuts, I'm ready to roll. Most folks know that the best whiskey on earth is made down the road in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Of course, we're talking about Jack Daniel's. How many of you know how Jack Daniel's died? If you don't, here's the story.
One day, Jack came in a little bit early, and he decided he was going to open the safe. He sat there and he worked on that dial a little bit, 2 or 3 times. He got a little bit aggravated. He hauled off, kicked that safe, and he broke his toe. His toe got infected, and later they had to take it off. And next thing you knew, they had to take his foot off, and then they took his leg off. He died about 5 years later. After kicking the safe with gangrene.
Oh yes, Tennessee whiskey is critically important to the history of country music. According to the website lyrics.com, more than 200 artists have recorded songs about Jack Daniel's whiskey. Maybe the biggest song ever about Tennessee whiskey never mentions old Jack Daniel in the lyrics, but we know what they're talking about. Many artists have recorded covers of Tennessee whiskey written by Dean Dillon and Linda Hargrove. David Allen Coe was the first to do it back in 1981, but it wasn't a huge hit for DAC back then. The old possum George Jones made it a big hit in 1983, and Chris Stapleton made it a smash hit in 2015. Now, I recently asked all the Country Music Time Machine crew members what they thought was the best version of the song. The George Jones version or the Chris Stapleton version. I love the Chris Stapleton version, but according to the Country Music Time Machine crew members, the best came from the old possum.
I used to spend my nights, Lord, in a boardroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known, but you rescued me from reaching for the bottom, and you loved me back from being too far gone, and you're as sweet as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm all the time.
That, folks, is great country music. We continue serving round 2 of the best drinking songs in country music history. For the next one, let's continue sipping some Jack Daniels. I'm not actually sipping Jack Daniels. I'm drinking just half of the prized recipe. My Coke with peanuts. Let's take that old time machine back to 2011. That's when North Carolina native Eric Church expressed his love for Jack Daniels with a song called, well, Jack Daniels. He loves Jack Daniels so much the distillery even released an Eric Church version of the whiskey. So let's now hear Eric express his love for Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I got a reputation going around. I ain't never been the kind to back down. I've thrown a punch or two and gave a few black eyes, but Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. I hung in pretty good for a round or two, but it don't fight fair like Daddy taught me to. A memory turned my head, then he snuck up from behind. Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. I always thought this heart was made of steel and bulletproof, but the memory of the tail lights fading breaks it right in two. Yes, every Superman has got his crypto war. Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night.
Whether you love your Jack Daniels or you love your Jim Beam, it might get you into a lot of trouble. Loretta Lynn knew this back in 1966 when she released Don't Come Home a Drinkin' with Lovin' on Your Mind. Thanks to Ruth for helping me to remember this song. Loretta and Peggy Sue Wright wrote the song, and Loretta said it was based on her personal experience with her often drunk husband. It went all the way up to number 1.
You thought that I'd be waiting up when you came home last night. You'd been out with all the boys and you ended up half-tied. Liquor and love, they just don't mix, leave the bottle or me behind. And don't come home but drinking with loving on your mind. No, don't come home but drinking with loving on your mind. Just stay out there on the town and see what you can find. 'Cause if you want that kind of love, well, you don't need none of mine. So don't come home but drinking with loving on your mind.
You know, not all drinking songs are about whiskey or about beer. Most of them probably are, but we also got songs about drinking wine. The next song was so popular when it was released in 1995 that since then, even some Major League Baseball players have used it as a walk-up song. It is that good. I love it. It went to number 1. Here is David Lee Murphy. Let's get a little dust off that bottle.
Creole Williams lived down a dirt road. He made homemade wine like nobody I know. I dropped by one Friday night and said, "Can you help me, Creole? I got a little girl waiting on me and I wanna treat her right." He said, "I got what you need, son," as we stepped down in the cellar. He reached through the cobwebs as he turned on the light. He said, "There might be a little dust on the bottom, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottom, but it's one of those things that gets sweeter with time."
Let's have one more glass of wine on round 2 of the best drinking songs in country music history. This song was a huge number 1 hit for Deanna Carter in 1996, one of the best ever coming-of-age songs ever made. So, if you're into it, Let's sip a little bit of that strawberry wine.
He was working through college on my grandpa's farm. I was thirsting for knowledge, and he had a car. Yeah, I was caught somewhere between a woman and a child. One restless summer we found love growing wild on the banks of the river on a well-beaten path. It's funny how those memories, they last like strawberry wine. At 17, the hot July noon saw everything. My first taste of love, oh, bittersweet, but green on the vine, like strawberry wine.
Now it's time to go from wine to tequila on round 2 of the best drinking songs in country music history. Tequila has come up often as a theme in country music drinking songs. I have tried tequila before, and while I really think it's some awful tasting stuff, it's great for a country song. Thanks to Bright Me Rope. Bright Me Rope. It's pretty cool. For suggesting this one, 10 Rounds with Jose Cuervo was a smash hit for Tracy Byrd in 2002, but Tracy almost never got a hit with the song. Garth Brooks planned to have this song on his album Scarecrow, but after a chat with Tracy, Garth decided not to put it on his own album. Tracy was very thankful, and we are too. And we got a great country music song.
Well, I walked in, the band just started. The singer couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. Was on a mission to drown her memory, but I thought no way with all this ruckus. But after one round with Jose Cuervo, I caught my boots tapping along with the beat. And after 2 rounds with Jose Cuervo, that band was sounding pretty darn good to me. Yeah. Then some stranger asked me to dance, and I revealed to her my 2 left feet. Said, don't get me wrong, I'm glad you asked, but tonight's about me and an old memory. But after 3 rounds with Jose Cuervo, I let her lead me out on the floor. And after 4 rounds with Jose Cuervo, I was showing off moves never seen before. Never.
And Tracy Byrd is not the only person to do a Jose Cuervo song. I love this one. It came from the lovely Shelly West. This song is about a woman who drank way too much Jose Cuervo tequila the night before. It was number 1 in 1983.
Well, it's Sunday morning and the sun is shining in my eye that is opened and my head is spinning. Was the life of the party. I can't stop grinning. I had too much tequila last night. Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. I'd like to drink you with a little salt and lime. Did I kiss all the cowboys? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start any fight?
We're in the middle of round 2 of some of the best country music drinking songs ever made. One of the greatest things about this channel is that I sometimes get exposed to songs I have never heard before or never even played on the radio. Here is an example of one of those songs. I want to thank Jason Adams for this suggestion. This one comes from a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. His name, Johnny Bond. Johnny Bond started his rise to fame by being on Gene Autry's Melody Ranch radio show in 1940. Later, he had his own group, or should I say, groups plural. He pulled a clever musical scam. Yeah, he was a smart dude. He recorded for Decca Records as the Jimmy Wakely Trio and for Columbia Records as Johnny Bond and the Cimarron Boys. I guess that's two sources of income. He had a hit in 1965 with this one, and it fits our drinking theme perfectly. Not really a song, more of a story, but check it out. Here's a little bit of 10 Little Bottles.
A friend of mine gave me 10 little bottles of some special stuff that he had brewed up himself. So I took it and hid it down in my basement. But my wife found out about it, and she told me to get rid of it or else. Since I didn't like the way she said or else, I went down there and proceeded to carry out her instructions. I set the 10 little bottles on the drain board, picked up the first bottle, pulled the cork out of it, and poured it down the sink. That is, all except one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next bottle and I pulled the sink out of it and I poured it down the sink. All except one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next cork and I pulled the sink out of it and I poured it down the bottle. All except one teensy little swallow, which I sank.
We all know in order to have a great drink, we need a great cup to put it in. And if you were not blessed with wealth and privilege, you preferred your cup to be plastic and probably red in color. Toby Keith released Red Solo Cup in 2001. It was a hit, but Keith himself called it the stupidest song he'd ever heard in his life. This song is so stupid that I went to a Red Solo Cup party in Ukraine many years ago when I was working there. I also went to a spam party as well. Pretty crazy. Anyway, before we close the bar, let's raise up our Red Solo Cups.
Now, Red Solo Cup is the best receptacle for barbecues, tailgates, fairs, and festivals. And you, sir, do not have a pair of testicles if you prefer drinking from glass. Hey, Red Solo Cup is cheap and disposable. In 14 years, they are decomposable. And unlike my home, they are not foreclosable. Freddie Mac kissed my ass. Woo! Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Solo Cup. I lift you up. Proceed to party. Proceed to party. Now I really love how you're easy to stack, but I really hate how you're easy to crack. Cause when beer runs down in front of my back, well that, my friends, is quite yucky. But I have to admit that the ladies get smitten, admiring how sharply my first name is written on you with a Sharpie when I get to hitting on them to help me get lucky. Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Solo Cup. I lift you up. Proceed to party. Proceed to party. Now I've seen you in blue and I've seen you in yellow, but only you, Red, will do for this fella. Cause you are the Abbott into my Costello, and you are the fruit to my loom. Red Solo Cup, you're more than just plastic. You're more than amazing. You're more than fantastic. And believe me that I'm not the least bit sarcastic when I look at you and say, Red Solo Cup, you're not just a cup.
No, God, no.
You're my friend.
Friend.
Yeah.
Lifelong.
Thank you for being my friend. Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, Red Solo Cup. I lift you up. Proceed to party. Proceed to party. Woo! Red Solo Cup. Red solo.
I fill you up. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Red Solo Cup.
Oh, Red Solo Cup.
I fill you up.
Let's have a party. Proceed to party.
Solo Cup.
Ba-do.
Solo Cup.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah!
Ba-do. Ba-do-dee-da-doo. Dee-da-ba. Doo-dee-da-ba.
Well, it's time to close the bar for round 2 of some of the best drinking songs in country music history, but as the owner of the bar, I still have my drink right here. I'm not ready to close yet. You know the deal. If you want round 3 of country music drinking songs, put your orders below in the comments section. So until next time, this is your old pal Kevin. Let's keep it country.